first, I want to introduce Mr. Tevan Poghosyan. He is the president of the International Center for Human Development. And only yesterday, he returned from Karabakh, where he was from the first day of the war. He will tell us now more about the current situation and about the situation on the ground. So please welcome Mr. Tevan Poghosyan.
Hi, thank you for the invitation to take part today at this conference. Thank you to Gertij and for this invitation. Yes, I just yesterday returned from Stepanakert, where I've been since 27. Current situation is the active war or aggression, which has been launched on September 27 by Turco-Azerbaijano International Terrorist Initiative. And from day to day, we see the all possible to this art of the military equipment usage on us, but we're standing and trying to defend our homeland. And actually, I read the situation in the following way. On the same, let's say, battlefield, we have three layers of different war. One is our kind of a war for homeland, which is aggression by Turco-Azerbaijani initiative from Azerbaijan. On the same battlefield, there's a second layer, which I'm calling proxy Turkish-Russian war continuation, which is going on in a various different parts in the world, but it's also now the South Caucasus become part of that. And the third one is war against terrorists, because first time since 1991, Turkey and Azerbaijan jointly using big number of mercenaries and terrorists from Syria and Libya. And they are coming, and I do believe that even if our Army of Defense of Artsakh Republic would destroy majority of them, many of these guys will not just simply return back to home, but would move to north to Russia or to south to Iran, or also to Georgia, and through Georgia, who knows where, because in reality, they coming there for making some money, but when they seeing the level of aggression, many of them would definitely not be staying there. Specifically, for them, it's not even logic of their holy wars. Why it started now? I think this was maybe the one big kind of a argument, which is with the pandemic, which spread it in the world, many countries become decentralized. The international world become decentralized. All the countries are dealing mainly with their own problems and not paying too much attention. And the second one is Erdogan's initiatives to go over, not over, but to go towards 2023 years, where is the 100th anniversary of Turkish Republic would be celebrated. And I think he's trying to establish a new Turkey, Erdogan Turkey, with the spread of the pan-Turkism initiative. The problem is that as of this moment, with so many evidences of all that, international community is not raising the voice to the level which can become really influential on results. One thing is just statements. It's natural. We already got used to it. many times whenever some escalation or aggression has been initiated by Azerbaijan, there's a traditional kind of a list of statements that we're receiving from this or the other organization. But in reality, I think if there wouldn't be a proper actions taken that would lead to some pressure, real pressure with the results, it will not go to stop Erdogan-Aliyev kind of a joint initiative, because in reality they start to rule truly shows zero attention to all the statements, to all the initiatives. We have the proof that twice humanitarian ceasefire has been brokered, once by Russia, and within few minutes it has been violated, and definitely the logical violation note would be going through from Aliyev, who would be sending his Minister of Foreign Affairs for 11 hours negotiation, agreeing, saying yes, and in the next second saying, guys, go and attack something else. And then second time negotiated with the support of France, and we see the same situation. I think as of today, the whole Azerbaijani military structures are under command of the Turkish generals and militaries. Maybe we would not see too much Turkish just ground troops, but their leadership are there and doing. But in regard of the air component of the war, it's fully the Turkish. We see there are a lot of Turkish Bayraktars, which definitely understand it, that it's only Turkish militaries could operate them, because they never been information that they sold so many Bayraktars, and Azerbaijanis already know how to use them. We know that, and it's not anymore secret, that F-16 Turkish are in there, and definitely this is also raising our big concerns. And I think NATO and allies, Western allies of Turkey should raise their voice much stronger. But much stronger, again, wouldn't be giving any results if there's no proper sanctions. Very soon, in few days, I think October 23rd, in my view, it would be the third attempt of third member of the Minsk co-chairs, United States, to broker something. There's already information that on October 23rd, Armenian foreign minister and Azerbaijani foreign minister would be in Washington and would be meeting with State Secretary Pompeo. And being honest, I don't believe even in possibilities of that, that something else would be reached there for some, at least, humanitarian ceasefire, because the only thing that we believe in Artsakh is to our troops, and if on the ground we would be able to really stop the aggression and have successes, only at that time Azerbaijan would try to go to the real and serious stop of the military actions. But it wouldn't mean that the war would be over. You know that they are starting from September 27, a lot of battlefields hasn't been clean, and so many bodies are there. I don't know if what's happening at night with the animals are trying to spoil the bodies, but there are also information that there are some wounded guys. There are also information that there are some small guys who are in various forests lost and are not able even to get out to their troops. And its reality is humanitarian catastrophe is taking place. And in addition of this, the whole type of heavy military artillery has been used against civilians. I perfectly understand that many times people saying that why someone shoot at that time, but the problem is that instead of saying why, it's much better to see who done first, and then perfectly understand that the war is not a sport, that's about the human lives, and retaliation is always would be component of this as a consequence. That's why if someone is really think over the humanitarian lives and values of lives, they perfectly need to understand that just keeping silence or really not try to take a bit activities of putting together when and how everything has been initiated. It would be always like on some issues regarding like calls sent to both sides with no results. I think on that regard, something else should be really differently tried because it's for us it's the issue about our homeland and issue about our homes. For others, I perfectly understand that it could be human or humanitarian pain, but to take that pain, the real action should be taken. And one of the elements that could really put beginning of this is the process of recognition of Artsakh Republic. If that would be initiated, I think at that time Azerbaijan and Turkey would also again understand that the aggression is never been appreciated by anyone. It was the short introduction. I'm ready to answer any question, whatever you would wish, and try to be frank and honest and open in presentation of whatever I saw or whatever I know, and what I think could be happen. Just also one very important point that I would like to notice is that for many, this confrontation or aggression could be seems like 30 years or I don't know 3 weeks. For us Armenians, it's 1 century long situation. Everything started in its initiation and implementation by the Turkey back in 1915 with the genocide policy and commitment of genocide against Armenia. And now on, it's just simply continuation of that policy, but after 100 years in South Caucasus.
Thank you very much. This was not only impressive, but also very touching. Does anyone of you have any questions? There's one question from our participant, Mariam. What about the Russian supports towards Armenia? How do you think, what are the motives of Russians?
Where you see the Russian support? I would like to, have you seen the Russian airplanes crossing, I don't know, Georgia-Russia border, entering Russia-Azerbaijani border, bombing Turks and Azeris? I think many times in the international community, people are trying to simplify situations without checking facts. We see the Turkish airplane in Azerbaijan, F-16, and Alev is making statement. We see how the Turkish Bayraktar has been used there. We see the Turkish military command, and we perfectly see how many times Turkey, Azerbaijani military planes crossing through Georgia to Baku and bringing up the mercenaries or I don't know, heavy equipment or something. Now, whenever we're saying Russia, let's see what's Russia done. Russia said that I am a member of the Minsk co-chairs, and then I would not be taking one-sided approach. The best of one-sided approach in the statements, you can check Erdogan's statement, you can check Çavuşoğlu's statement, and you can check the Ministry of Defense of Turkey statement, which they fully engaged as presenting them as a conflict site. Even see like Aliyev's statement saying that Turkey should be part of the negotiation in kind of a, it's bringing that there's no trust from Turkey to Aliyev, or there's fear from Aliyev to anyone, that he's asking like, I need an Erdogan stand nearby in the negotiation process. Where I don't see that Russia said that, you know, I will come and stand near Armenia. This is that we are honest broker in the co-chair institution, and we will be taking our links to both sides. I think before the asking question, it would be a really perfectly if someone would do the homework to study the situation. And if Russia is so much helpful, then why so many Armenian voices are raised that we would like that Russia help? If Russian help is here, that's why I think it's not the Russian ever help. Russia even said that they would fulfill their strategic partnership or strategic ally responsibilities only if the territory of Republic of Armenia would be under repression. And because still the whole military actions going on the it started from the border of Artsakh Republic and Azerbaijani Republic, and now is fully on the territory of Artsakh Republic. There is no even one proof that the Russian presence or support is still exists. It's everything whatever we're doing by our own power and our own means. And yes, if you would ask me correctly, would we like that Russia help? I would say that why only Russia? We would like that the whole international community come and help to fight international terrorism, to stop Turkish-Azerbaijani aggression, and to raise its voice and provide the support for not allowing that the second time Armenian nation faced the genocide.
Thank you. There are several questions for you. So Mrs. Sokolova is wondering the following. Russian Federation sells weapons to Turkey, Azerbaijan, and Armenia in this conflict. What is your opinion about it?
About?
Should I read it again?
What about the Russian support towards Armenia? I think we get it. The Russian Federation sell weapons to Turkey, Azerbaijan, and Armenia. I used to be a member of the parliament of Armenia in 2012 and 2017 for the 5th congregation of the National Assembly. As a member of parliament, I many times raised the voice that, guys, selling weapons to Azerbaijan is never a solution. And we many times raised these issues. Selling arms to Armenia has been always on the matter of the let us keep up the balance that the peace would preserve. And now we can see that it's only Russia who has tried keep up by selling something to Azerbaijan, also provide something or selling to Armenia for keeping balance. But all other countries in the world sold so many arms to Azerbaijan without ever thinking that if the balance would change, it would lead to military action. Whenever I raise in various, I don't know, at NATO Parliamentary Assembly or many other parliamentary assemblies, these three issues, they've been always saying that, you know, we know that Azerbaijan has the money, that's why they're asking for weapon, we're sending it. I mean, what the consequences? And consequences is what we're seeing now. Because when someone is buying military equipment for 5 billion, then for another 5 billion, then another 5 billion, it's not purchased for the sake of keeping them in the yard under the rain and saying that one day they will spoil. If someone buying arms, they would be using it. Now, Turkey, Belarus, Ukraine, Israel, Czech Republic, they've been selling arms to Azerbaijan many times. Unfortunately, we have been able only balance it by the defense type of by buying from Russia. And this is what is the result. Why now Russia selling arms to Turkey? I mean, it's only one type of arm was there. It's S-400. I think maybe it has been the Russian policy by thinking that if so many pressure from West coming to me, let me try to kind of shows that I can have some friends on the West. And they're thinking that the Turkey was maybe that one by saying that Turkey would buy my part and NATO would be upset. I don't know what is real thinking behind the Turkey and Russian this deal, but I would say that it's even if it's has been the idea for creating this not positive relationship between Turkey and its partners in the West, in the big policy, it's failed because just Turkey is now showing that they are not caring about Russians also. And they are just entered here and pushed Azerbaijan. And there is a real proxy war between Turkey and Russia here. It's not only in Syria, it's not only in Libya, but it's here. And I think the even events in Kyrgyzstan has been triggered by Turkey. And what is the most interesting and recent, because it just happened 2 days ago, Turkish initiatives in cooperation with Ukraine and selling the same Bayraktars and making statement which is irritated Russia definitely regarding through Crimea. I mean that proxy war is going on there. But what I would appreciate if no one would be sold any weapons to South Caucasus countries. I'd raised that many times in many cases, saying that guys, if you trying to preserve balance, there are 2 ways. Or you're giving, in this joking way, the nuclear bomb to each side, and then you said that you are having this kind of a balancing situation you never be using, or you're starting not to sell the arms. And to see like co-chairs of Minsk group are 3 permanent members of the UN's Security Council. Bring the initiative with the sanctions to any country who would sell the arms to South Caucasus region. And then maybe something else would be in a case that that weapons never would be used.
Okay, thank you very much for this answer. There are 2 more questions. The next one is from our participant Rima Grigori. It says, do you have any expectations regarding the meeting on this upcoming Friday in the USA? So I think the participant is referring to the meeting in Washington.
I got the question. I think like it is really good as many meetings would be happening, as many attempts to put the sides at the table of negotiation is great. But having expectations without understanding that violation would have outcomes, no. After the war in 4-day war, so famous, which has been again initiated by Azerbaijan in April 2016, in May, I think in May and in June 2016, there have been a round of meetings between Armenia and Azerbaijan under the Minsk co-chairs group already, let's say, ministerial level. Well, for example, Kerry, French minister, and Lavrov has been participating in Vienna. They make an agreement about increase of monitoring, which previously has been exist on the border between Artsakh Republic and Azerbaijan. And also, they first time start to talk about verification institutions who violated which has been first time presented, that if there is a ratification institution, then from now on we will not be making a similar call to all sides if any violation, but we would know who is violated and maybe some sanctions would be introduced. Unfortunately, it's not yet implemented, and I know that Germany has been ready to provide the full budget of increase of the monitors, as well as kind of a covering and presenting this verification mechanism. But after that, Azerbaijan has been permanently putting a veto at the OSCE budgetary committee for not introducing this institution. And what is we have now is a similar situation. International community, I can understand anyone could say that how I would be sure, because see, like you saying Azerbaijan violated, Azerbaijan saying you violated. We always saying that let's and we are ready, and Artsakh Republic as well as the Republic of Armenia, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Defense Ministries, not once has been saying that we are ready for establishing ratification mechanism. As we are interested, it's within our interest. Let's establish this mechanism, and then if some violation would happen, you would do investigation, you would check, and after that, you would take the action on the level of who violated, and the one who would be violating ceasefire, at least something would happen. I don't know, some kind of a sanction, or maybe the one-sided statement would be there. I don't know how much it would be affecting them, but in any way. What we have now, as of this moment, is not there any mechanism. And if even tomorrow, or not tomorrow, on October 23rd, let's say late evening, because of the time difference for us, it would be October 24. We again would hear that sides agreed that starting from this, I don't know, 12:00 exact noon time, there should be a humanitarian ceasefire established. And one of the sides would violate it, again, we will not be able to say that who. Because I believe that we twice keep our commitments, and I believe that we would do it third time also. But Azerbaijan proved that it's twice violated. Even no second has been kept. They would do it again, then they would say that it's Armenian side should eat something. And international community again would say that, guys, how we can now say. The problem is that, again, I'm saying that if I'm welcoming this kind of meetings, it's very soon, let them every day even happen. But not any more expectations there. The only expectations is with our defense army. If our defense army would be able to persuade and enforce peace and ceasefire like back in 1994, this is what is our expectation. Until there is no really said that, for example, if violation would be there, then I don't know, some kind of economic or this kind of an action, sanction, punishment, and so on would be enforced, and then guys, maybe some expectations would be came to would start to appear within Armenian society.
Okay, there's one last question from Mariam again. Armenia and Russia are part of a security treaty of 6 ex-Soviet nations, which does not include Azerbaijan, that must help each other militarily in case of armed conflicts. Also, Moscow has a military base in Armenia. What about this?
And what? And Georgia is a part of another kind of a military group, so which they had been saying Moldova, Ukraine, or some sense. Each country is trying to get its security vision, and let's now name who is the member of CSTO. CSTO, as you know, it's Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Moscow, Russia, Belarus, Armenia. Do you remember when I said that Belarus has been selling arms to Azerbaijan? Whose side is Belarus taking? Kazakhstan has been always supporting Azerbaijan in UN and all other places resolutions, which is possible. That's why I think that, guys, each country should be worried about their own security. And I remember now the words of former Secretary General of NATO, Lord Robertson, who said that country can feel secure only if neighbors feeling them secure. I do believe that there's no secret for any of you that the Russian military base are on territory of Republic of Armenia because of the Turkish threat. Turkey is the only country, Turkey is our neighbor who keep blockade, close border, not recognize Armenian genocide from 1915, and not establish diplomatic relationship with Armenia. And what is going on starting from September 27 is just the proof that Turkey would not be paying any attention to any voice raised in the world if no Russian military base standing and keeping up the border. Russian military base in Armenia has consisted of only 3,000 soldiers who is doing the border guarding. Turkish army is about 700,000. We definitely can understand that it's not a real strongest security provision on having 3,000 soldiers. And many times it could be said that even emotional security, because shooting towards Armenian border from Turkey would be meaning not shooting to Armenia, but shooting to Russian Federation. That's why let's be serious about how the Russian military base is helping provide security to Armenia. And let's be serious, what is the organization CSTO is representing? Why we are there? Because it's giving us an opportunity to buy the military equipment produced on Russian Federation by the prices of factory. This is where the Armenian interest has been heading towards membership in CSTO. Because if someone has been really deeply studying security in the region, that they would not many times mention CSTO, but would just simply understand that before membership in CSTO, where even in the first beginning, Azerbaijan was part, and many other Soviet Union has been part, but they just left in the moment when it started to get the institutionalization. There is a Russian-Armenian strategic ally agreement, and Russian obligations to provide security for Armenia is not within the CSTO, but within the bilateral agreement of strategic alignment of Armenia and Russia. That's why I think sometimes we just simply trying to find out some arguments to blame some other sides without even deeply studying those things. The same like history, the same like that. But one thing which I can really present is that at least Armenian behavior back in 2008, during a war between Russia and Georgia, has been much more neighborly, without not allowing that any soldier from Armenia to go there. And on all political statements, we never take a side. Where Georgia has been always taking a side, and Georgia is now not allowing for many air communication between Armenian and other world to fly through their territories. and always saying that, but it's for both sides, for Azerbaijan, but the world has changed. Technically, we're perfectly monitoring what kind of a planes from where it's coming, what kind of a size of plane, and what kind of a trips is taking place. That's why I think anything that is happening now in the region, it would be in the future there will be many consequences, because one thing that also our neighbors should remember, that if they would not join in their efforts to fight international terrorism, who knows where the guys would go. And it's not only any more Armenian issue. It's not any more Artsakh Republic conflict with Azerbaijan issue, but it's already turning into the international challenge. And that component could be overcome only by joining our efforts and not trying to think how to kind of make some pain to its neighbors because of the something issue. I know that there are 1,000 conflicts in the world. All of them are different. All of them has a different sources, and all of them would be having a different solutions. There is no one approach to that. But if someone is not know how to help really, there is a one very good proverb which is used for the doctors. Don't harm, and always be high in your voice. Because if you will keep silence, one day the conflict would knock your door.
I want to read out our participants, Mariam's answer to that just for you. She says, my strong respect to you. I'm just asking you because you represent the Armenian side. If there was any representatives from Azerbaijan, I would have different types of question. I consciously understand your opinions and hope this conflict will be ended and managed peacefully.
Thank you to Mariam, and thank you to everyone who is really having these wishes and praise. And I hope that really the international community finally would wake up with the real understanding that unfortunately, maybe our local conflict turned into something different, and it will not be really taken seriously. It finally will turn even into the real big international problem. I think the most important thing for the all people in the South Caucasus, not to allow that the South Caucasus turn to another Syria. I think we need to help to overcome the Syrian issues and not create another new one.
Yes. So there's maybe one last question also, because our other speakers are not here yet, I think. So Alina, our participant Alina, has the following question for you. How can the recognition of Artsakh change the course of the war and the situation in Armenia?
See, like, recognition is the act which is always taking place on bilateral relationship. Recognition from Armenia of Artsakh wouldn't be making in reality any change, because I do believe that the whole international community perfectly understanding that we never done it because of the negotiation process. So, or evenly, I would say that by the request of international community, saying that, guys, if you will recognize Artsakh Republic, then how or what would be the real interest in negotiation? Because the negotiation by the decision of the OSCE back in Budapest in 1994 has been about resolution of the conflict by describing the status of Nagorno-Karabakh Republic. But if already one country is recognizing status, then what kind of a negotiation should be on one of the conflict sides is establishing or one-sidedly taking decision on the status, then what kind of a negotiation should be there? Many times I understand that when Azerbaijan or some populistically or manipulatively saying that even Armenia are not recognizing, and people start to think in that regard. Just to be clear that we didn't done it because of this request and because not to allow that negotiation would stop anything. Recognition by any other country of international community, specifically strongest countries, it just would help to bring the understanding that these people has a right, and their rights should be clearly accepted as a rights for any human being in the world. See what's going on. I do believe that at least all of you perfectly understand that people in Artsakh Republic are the same. They have 2 legs, 2 hands, 1 head, and all of that with the human beings as a normal people. But whenever you're discussing issues in the Council of Europe, they saying that, yeah, you know, but you are not a recognized country. We cannot discuss your issues. Your passport is not good. I think this should be really brought to the attention, that recognition by the others would give explanation to the conflict that, guys, we need to pay properly attention there and not anymore divide the world on black holes or something like this. Maybe many years ago, we will think that recognition would help to defend sovereignty, territorial integrity, or something else. But if you're taking decades back, what is this last decades has been happening? Syria has been a recognized country. What's going on now there? Iraq has been a recognized country. What's going on now there? I don't know, in many other cases. I don't want to now just simply go with this. But we also perfectly understand that recognition is not the solution from that, not anymore military aggression, or as this last 3 weeks in my grandfather's house in Stepanakert, where each evening I've been sleeping, I've been just hearing the artillery voices and hits to neighborhood places and so on. Like, it wouldn't be helping with this, but it would be helping at least for the properly in the world start to discuss the issues and understand the main core of the issue of Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, and then maybe the points over which many would say that, guys, you now need to get to take a negotiation and resolve everything peacefully, that there is no any military solution for Karabakh issue. And I hope that little by little this would come to understanding, and as we see now some real reactions going on in the world, like yes, I perfectly understand that it's still on the level of the local governments, but drop by drop, I hope one day the international community would see that glass is full and would take its stuff. Neither Eritrea, nor East Timor, nor many other cases or the same Kosovo has been recognized immediately. I think that's why it would be some process, but we would try to go towards our dream fulfillment. Mm-hmm. And I wish peace to everyone.
Thank you very much. Finally, I'm going to read out Mariyam's comment. Just a reminder, she says, the ethnic Armenians and Russians within Abkhazia's population largely supported the Abkhazians, and many fought on their side. From 13,000 to 20,000 ethnic Georgians were reported killed during the war, while more than 250,000 Georgians, including my family, became internally displaced and refugees.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that I'm really painful for that conflicts exist. But the same way, about 500,000 Armenian community of Georgians, as a citizens of Georgia, has so many Armenians in the Georgian army, who has been fighting, you know, many in any cases where the Georgian army has been sent to fight. I perfectly understand that for many people, I don't know why it's a problem with Armenia, but let's be honest. Yes, in the world, there are 10 million of Armenians. In Armenia, we're living only 3 million. 7 million of Armenians are spread over the world. Why? Is it just happened something? Or maybe we can understand that the moment when the Turkey committed genocide, 1.5 Armenians has been killed but about 3 to 4 million Armenians has been spread it all over the world. We have 1.5 million Armenians in America. We have 500,000 Armenians in Georgia. We have about 2 million Armenians in Russia. We have 500,000 Armenians in Ukraine. When I'm speaking with my Ukrainian colleagues, they're naming me hero as from Ukrainian side, the same way as from the other side, who fighting for their houses and homeless there. None of them is our case. We have about 100,000 Armenian community in Syria. We have 100,000 Armenians in Iran. I perfectly. There have been Armenians in Abkhazia living in their houses. And what? This is the point that, guys, don't bring the ethnical component on the way of your conflict. See, I'm not penetrating there on that regard. But I have a very, very good friends in Georgia with whom they also very, very good friends are Armenians there who has been taking case. I never been put the blame on that regard. That's why we can go over and over, but let's say, well, what's making that Armenians has been spread it all over this world? And what was the real problem, which maybe once hasn't been done? I hope that one day Georgia would also recognize the Armenian genocide and many issues would be clean on this regard. Thank you.
Thank you very much.